everyone, and welcome to a little bit of a different video. So, Duality is upon us. It's getting released in, what time is it right now? It's 8:30. So, it's gonna be released soon. So, I decided, why don't I do some theorizing? This is a little bit new, but I decided, you know what? I think it's time. Like, I've never done this for an album before. But I wanted to see if I could guess some of the meanings of the songs. And so one of the biggest things is I'm going to go track by track, see if I can guess. Obviously, I've already listened to Eye of the Untold Her at this point, so we know what that's about. Amazing song, chef's kiss. But I've not yet listened to Inner Gold, and I haven't listened to Evil Twin either. Life's been a little bit nuts, but I'll be reacting to those as well, posting these over the next couple days, honestly, mostly tonight. But let's get started. So let's get started. Side A. I heard that side A and side B of Duality are they're contrasting songs. So Evil Twin contrasts the Scarlet Queen, Eye of the Untold Her, Inner Gold, etc., etc. So I'm wondering how it's going to represent a contrast. Now, most people by now have probably listened to Evil Twin and Inner Gold, so I know Eye of the Untold Her is supposed to be an exact opposite. Well, I don't know if it's going to be an exact opposite, but from the interviews that I've been seeing, it's supposed to be connected, but duality kind of means opposite, or at least like two different sides of a story to me. So when I look at that, I wonder, okay, well, Eye of the Untold Her is about knowing what you're capable of, which Inner Gold, that also is like representing your inner capabilities maybe. So I would think that those are connected in that way. So going track by track, I guess we'll go with their dualities. So Evil Twin and the Scarlet Queen. So Evil Twin, that makes me think of a side of you that's maybe talking against you. So maybe it's about like inner demons, because it is you technically, but maybe it's everything that's holding you back. Or it could just be like two sides of you fighting to get to the surface. I don't know. But, and then the Scarlet Queen. The Scarlet Queen, it feels like that's going to be a reference to something. So I looked into Scarlet Queen. I found a couple different meanings, which include something from Marvel, a radio drama, and an animated parable. And the animated parable may be the best one, but it could honestly just be something else entirely, which I wouldn't be surprised about. The animated parable that I see, it's by Straczynski. The Scarlet Queen searches for a lost coin and celebrates when she finds it. In this parable, God is portrayed as a woman to illustrate God's love and persistence in searching for the lost. Now, that's interesting to me because that has great meaning. And so then thinking about Evil Twin, if Scarlet Queen was based off of this, maybe it's talking about love and hate, perhaps, and the Evil Twin is hate, and the Scarlet Queen represents love. But that's if it's based on that. If it's something else entirely, because it's very interesting, I just realized it's spelled with 2 T's. I wonder if that was purposeful or just it looked cooler. That's always a great reason if it looks cooler. I wonder, because it could also be a reference to Queen and Kings and twins. Like Queen and King is basically 2 sides of the same coin, and then twins are 2 of the same, right? Basically. So I can see how it could possibly be together. And then I kind of went a little bit backwards, but we'll skip now to surrender and survive, which I feel like that has a very obvious connection. Surviving means you are surviving. You're pushing through. You have your determination. You are going to get through whatever you're getting through. Surrendering might mean you're not, it's not surviving. So it could be surrendering to the pain, could be surrendering something positive too. But survive is almost pushing through and moving forward. Surrendering almost to me feels like pulling back. And I don't know if that's, of course, I don't know if that's the meaning, but survive has been teased already. And we do know that survive was about how Lindsey was unfortunately cheated on. So I have words for whoever did that because that's horrible. Bad. Anyway, besides the point, I wonder if surrender could also mean something like you're giving into your emotion, and that may not necessarily be a negative emotion. Maybe it's just surrendering your love, surrendering to your emotions. So almost understanding them a little bit more. And then survive is then going past your emotion. Well, not past your emotions, but then accepting your emotions and then pushing past them, pushing forward with them. Because now, okay, I felt this, now let's keep going. Because it's always important to, like, if something happens to you, you have to process it. You can't just push it away. Because pushing it away, it'll come back later. It always does. It always comes back to haunt you. So maybe that's how they're connected in a way. And then we have, I think this is my song that I'm most excited for, is Kintsugi, which is on side B, and Serenity Found, which is on side A. Now, Serenity Found, that almost sound, oh, hi, my cat has decided to join us. Sorry. So, Kintsugi, I'm very excited for this, because Kintsugi, I fangirled about this when I first heard about it, is a Japanese technique for pottery, where basically broken pottery is repaired, but it's repaired with golden lacquer to and you repair it completely, and the cracks are gold after that, which then that I have one. I put it away, so I'll put a picture of it right here and more examples. But it's a very symbolic reference, meaning that flaws are beautiful. You don't have to hide your flaws. The flaws are part of you. And in a way, repairing yourself with that golden lacquer, it makes you more unique. It makes you who you are. And so I've loved the meaning of that. I've been such a fan of just that art style for so long. So the fact that it's becoming in song form is amazing to me, and I'm very excited to hear this. But then we go to Serenity Found. So if we think completely about Serenity Found, first off, I feel like that's going to be a slower song. I don't know, but maybe. It just gives me that, probably because the word serenity. But I feel like it's maybe finding solace in something, but then I'm trying to think, how would those be connected? The meaning of Kintsugi with Serenity Found. Maybe it's about finding that calmness and realizing, you know what, I was broken, but now I'm repaired, or I understanding that you're flawed, but accepting of that. And so in a way, you're finding serenity. That might be a bit of a stretch, but that's my theory. So we'll see. And then we got Firefly Alley, hello, and Untamed. So Firefly Alley, regardless, that's my name spelled wrong. Anyway, Untamed and Firefly Alley, how would those connect? Just from a title standpoint. Well, fireflies, I wonder what the meaning, like a symbolic meaning of a firefly is. I mean, it's light in darkness, literally. So, but alley, why an alleyway? And untamed. Maybe it represents like almost an untamed fire, because fireflies are also lightning bugs, fire. And so maybe it's about like not taming that light. Perhaps that's what I would connect them with, because the fireflies are fire, untamed fire. This is a stretch. But I don't know. I guess we'll have to see for that one. And then there's purpose and la fise, which la fise is I think that's French for fairies, the fairies. My 5 years of French is helping me suddenly. So fairies and then purpose. I'll be honest, that one's completely lost on me, but there's only so much you can get from the word purpose. But purpose obviously can mean like, oh, you found your purpose, or you're looking for your purpose. And then there's fairies. So how do purpose and fairies come together? Well, we could have fairies are very whimsical. They're very playful. And they're very, like, graceful. So, no, that's a stretch. I was gonna say your purpose is to be no. This is a mess. But I'm just spitballing here. I have no idea. I'm gonna be honest with you. That one might be a little harder. Thanks, Evie, for the cat hair in my mouth. I don't know. I don't know about that one. That one's a bit of a struggle, to be honestly. But I did want to get... Thank you, Evie. I did want to go over a little bit of the album cover. So, obviously we have the two, and I'm looking at it right here, the two sides of her head have flowers and butterflies. And I know Lindsey has said before that butterflies have great meaning towards her, especially the monarch butterfly. So that's one side. And then there's the roses. I don't know if they're actually roses. They kind of look like a mix of carnations and roses and what's that? I think those are all different types of flowers. Which butterflies and roses, they have connection. They're not technically opposites, but they are connected. The butterfly feeds from the flower, and honestly, you can't really have, well, you can have roses without the butterflies. You can't have the butterflies need the roses to feed, or the flowers to feed on. So, but specifically, like, I'm wondering if that has some sort of meaning, why the butterfly and why the flower. And also the coloring. I wonder if that was a particular choice. But if you look on the back side of the album, this is something that caught my eye. So it's a butterfly, and half of its wing, one half of it, the wing is made of flowers. And then the other side is a more realistic wing. So that makes me think of dream versus reality. And I don't know if that correlates, if that's a good way of comparing these two songs, or the two dualities of the songs. If like one represents more of a idealistic, symbolic, whimsical, because I mean, like, a wing made out of flowers, that seems more dreamlike, less real. It's still pretty, but it's fake. Not fake, but just it's different. Versus the real side, that's reality. So I'm wondering if one side is supposed to be more on the idealistic side, if it's supposed to be more of the floaty, hopeful maybe side of things, and the other side is reality. It's like a reality check. Because there's always going to be the one side. You can always think of a utopia. You can always think of, like, oh, this would be great. But reality doesn't always give you that. And that's unfortunate. But we also have to accept that. Sorry, I have a little bit of tickle in my throat. So I wonder if that is what this duality is. It could be a bunch of different things. But there's only one way to find out. That's to listen. And the album comes out in a little under 15 minutes for me. So we're gonna look at it, we're gonna see, and stay tuned. Alright, bye!